Io sto troppo forse provate da ce ne
Start. Oh, it's right where we've seen people have a bit of a wobble. He's gone right into the hedge there.
He's in somebody's garden.
Yeah, he is.
Narrow as well, isn't it? For some of these villages, yeah, just got caught up in that really tight right-hander.
Ah, yes. Bit of reverse on the way into Tamburello.
And 3 Graduate, last year's 8th place finisher in the championship, getting it out of that gravel trap. And Campos
just running through this normally flat-out section of the lap.
Slightly faster than
you have selected backwards.
Racetrack. And you can see, there you go, there's the replay of the American driver losing the rear of his Carlin, and his session comes to a close with good evasive action taken by Jake Hughes, the man who's finished in first position, just dropping it.
Yeah, session switches it on beautifully across the outside curve in Tamburello, but it doesn't quite come out for him. He won't be too bothered by that, I wouldn't have thought. He's ended the session, resume, but he has nice pace.
And this is Doohan at the first Ravazza. And this is the Formula 3 champion, Dennis Hauger, making it 8 drivers who scampered over the
opposite lock and just cannot get the overcorrection out of it in time around the racetrack. The BRDC Rising Star will not be happy to be stuck in it.
No, unfortunately, it's going to be key to pole position. Here's the man who's currently there, trying to improve and having to bail out.
Dancing over those bollards in the middle of Tamburello and finds his way across the middle of the chicane. Yuri Vips, he'll live to fight another day, but needs to be nailing those. Yeah, just recovering from a spin at slow speed and gets too wide on the curb. It's bumpy old stuff out there. It's not going nicely, is it, for Behrman? Very
one, and both being sent off into the wall. Might have been Kalen Frederick. It was,
yeah,
who comes together
with Cohen.
And that's how Cohen loses his front wing, or certainly part of it. And they both take to the gravel. So that was right.
And then he just doesn't know he's there. He's too busy looking for the car ahead, and basically, car where I don't think the move is going to be made, but I think he's far enough alongside. I would call that one a racing incident, I'm afraid.
Well, it has been noted by race. Well, this is how it happened then. So a bit of a traffic paradise there, and he does have a collision with one of the Carlin racing cars.
Well, I mirror the sentiments, frankly. Anyway, the marshals, and here is the spin then, takes a bit too much curve, bounces from the rear. There's just plain not enough mechanical grip to catch the car. So as soon as the marshals give you the get out sign, that's you. Session over. So he will be waiting for that action, I would imagine.
Great to be reckoned with. Play off Kushmini, just losing the rear, and round he goes. But to get pole position in Franco Colapinto and to be as competitive as they were, it's mighty impressive, isn't it?
It is very impressive, and you know, these cars have had a period of relative regulation stability. You know, they haven't changed much over the last years, and so you are getting, you know, the teams that have
a couple of them have got excellent results here in other past categories, but Crawford losing the back, and off he goes into the gravel. Actually,
of Tamburello, the other spinner, that's Marty, and very, very similar. This is Schumacher, and that is what aquaplaning is. When you just get up on the water and just go absolutely. And I'm expecting to see a mid-corner spin. That's actually down at the Villeneuve chicane, so a little later on in the lap, and he's just got wide out on that grass. Very lucky not to bounce over those sausage curbs on the second there.
Yeah, and then you're just a passenger, aren't you, too?
Just lost it on the way into Hakon Minerali. Let's see what's happening. He's aimed it in. He's aimed it in there, but it just doesn't have any rear.
Rossi took the spin right out of my mouth here. I was about to say, even though it's an install lap, you better be really careful coming off the button at the end of pit lane. He was already out of pit lane, James, and just...
So let's take a look at the replay, and yeah, before he even gets to the turn 2 part of the acceleration lane.
Unless he lost it at the exit of turn 1 and slid all the way down, but it sure looks like that was pit out.
I think for the speed at which he hit, it looked like that was probably pit out, and lucky to avoid Marcus Ericsson coming by there.
Yeah.
Who's on the grass?
Will Power.
Oh boy.
Oh, Will Power lost it coming out of the pits.
Oh, look at that.
That's terrifying. That's coming out of the pits in 1.
And Marcus Ericsson.
On to the apex of turn 1. Very scary situation. Colton Herta at full song. Watch Colton Herta's onboard here.
Whoa! Wow! I mean, out of nowhere, Will Power appears. Thank goodness for quick hands. You thought that was crazy. Let's check out Marcus Ericsson's onboard as well.
Yeah, and Ericsson had to avoid Castro Neves earlier, and then with the Herta spin, he's trying to guess, do I go right, left? Just clears it again.
Wheel, and a car is off, and that's the Bentley from Bodar and Baz Kooten Racing. The number 6 car, which is running third, nose into the barrier, I think at Buccine corner. Yes, it was Porsche. And unfortunately, we haven't even got to the comedic story surrounding this team and publicising in their national press here in Italy something about...
Segura in the yellow highlighted car, the red highlighted car. There's contact between the teammates! Oh my goodness, they've gone off at Shell Oils. That is going to cause a mess. And that is him done. I think Callum Voisin somehow is still going in this race. I don't quite know how his car is in one piece. He'll go side by side now. There's more contact. Alex Connor has gone straight off because of that. That's of two teammates making contact, and I'm not too sure what race controller say this. Here's the other issue though: Alex Connor and Callum Boysen coming together, coming down.
Oh, this could be it. Here we go, side by side. Browning at the front there, alongside the is that Leben? Yeah, Leben. Just a clash of wheels. That's really unfortunate for both of them there. It looked like a bit of a racing incident. Leben was defending on the inside, and Browning trying to go on the outside.
So she's battling with her teammate actually, with George Lyne straight down the inside. She's overcooked that just ever so slightly. She's gone in a bit too deep. Hit the inside, the turf that's
very close to the grass. You do not want to be touching the grass and going off there. Looking at the inside as well.
Oh
no!
Sherwood, Jack Sherwood into the rear end of Elias Ardeston, just left it down the end. Logan Hanna backs out of it. Nicholas Taylor gets both the positions, and Megan Jilks straight off the track in the background. She's going to slide her way through somehow. Thankfully, not making contact with any of the barriers.
Let's have a look at this replay into his laps. I'll let you talk through this.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's Megan Jilks who's got down the inside, of course, in the hill speed, but it's just, I think that's just overcooking it a little bit.
There might have been a small touch. It'd be interesting.
Jérémy Lourenço pour le moment. Oh, il s'impatiente, Benoît. Il s'impatiente. Ah, touchette. Touchette. Et malheureusement, ce sont les deux qui tombent. Aïe, aïe, aïe. Ce sont les deux qui tombent. Et vous savez, très belle course de Jérôme Thiel qui va passer à la corde. Et le tonne, attention, est sur une trajectoire. Oh là là, qu'il conduit dans les pneus. Oh là là, le crash, énorme crash avec le tonne qui a... Voilà, on voit le tonne qui est à l'extérieur. Il est pas percuté a priori, ah si un petit peu quand même, hein. Il a été touché bien involontairement ceci dit, et ensuite le dégagement n'est pas très grand, donc malheureusement il a été la principale victime de cet accrochage, et bien entendu qu'on le déplore, on le regrette parce que c'est quelqu'un qu'on adore, il fait partie vraiment de, tout simplement de l'équipe, de la famille de la midget, donc on revient sur ce classement, 3e place pour Damiani qui s'est glissé au milieu, c'était pas évident. Alors qui réussit le bon start? Je pense que c'est Younes Carbide qui serait donc auteur du all shot, littéralement menacé déjà par Sébastien Chevaux. Ah, la touchette malheureusement, et la 30 victime de cette touchette. Ah, c'est Karen. La même chose d'ailleurs pour Younes Carbide qui tient le coup, Younes. Pop est sorti de la 137 de Xavier Desraux. Mince alors, on venait à l'instant d'en parler, puis alors il est tanké parce qu'on pourrait ressombrer dans les affres des safety. Ah, touchette, et c'est la 139 de Deldossi, Andrea Deldossi, l'intervention du safety. À moins qu'on laisse la course se dérouler parce qu'elle est partie très très loin là-bas. Elle a une position qui à mon sens n'est pas très dangereuse. Puis on a peut-être avoir du fil à retordre. Il apprend la discipline. Oh, contact avec Manu Damiani malheureusement. Allez Manu, faut, on l'espère.
Nothing hugely wrong here. Fassbender's gone for a spin. So that will explain it. He got as high as 3rd position, dropped back to 5th. I guess I was scratching my head a little bit.
The curb, took too much curb.
Yeah.
Took too much curb, car unsettled, power goes in, round you go.
And you get an idea, although this track is considered very flat, of the slight undulation you get coming out of turn 2 where the car goes light, and if you then think of a number of LMP3 cars rather, there was some contact with the 47 which also went for a spin.
That's John Falb.
Yeah, and John
almost caught the front end of the car.
To go within LMP2 and 3. Oh, there was a spin for the number 3 car, got caught up behind Nicholas Cruton and has found just about the only gravel trap here at Le Castellet, the exit at turn 7.
Yeah, that's just sliding backwards and wide at turn 7 and has been there for some little time.
Passagem já sendo feita ali do bem. Passou reto e aí tem o toque. Kaká Freire com o Ricardo Domenech. Eles que estão inaugurando, né? Estreando o duplo. Ih, já tem toque ali, tem gente rodando. No final do pelotão.
Después de lo que ha sido ese despiste, ahí está la imagen que nos muestra justamente.
Un cachito para afuera, ¡ay, trompo de allí de Rodrigo de Restini, se tocó con Jonathan, se tocó con Bordón, se venía mal Terrano que está en el puesto 11.
Claro, lo de los Lloverranos es...
¡Uy, se tocaron! Se fue Marga afuera, Repollo también, se puso al costado el auto de Nico, se puso al costado el
negro, Oscar Forgue, mientras tanto...
¡Ay, el costado, y se pegaron, se tocaron así, la máquina, en este caso, del Juani, se fue el podio, una carrera sensacional, toca la tierra Petraca, Olivera que bloquea, se toca con el auto de García, trompo de Leonel, trompo de García también, se fueron los dos afuera, mira vos qué lástima, y ahora Petraca es el nuevo tercero de la carrera.
Fíjate lo que ocurre.
Adentro, da cuenta, José Antonio Murga cuando
Quintela.
se va al trompo Quintela que se...
Sí, y que hay un reglamento acotado. ¡Ay, Perino! Los tres, mirá cómo se complicaron los tres, che.
Los tres,
Mirá vos cómo se complicaron. Se puso en marcha Giordano al frente, Rolly López van marcando el rumbo. ¡Uy! Me lo mandaron, mirá vos. Atención.
Otro golpe.
Luca Berti.
Con muy buen trabajo realizando. Ahí veíamos ese despiste entre los que quedaban varias máquinas
y Nardelli, ¿sí?
Involucradas. Chanzar, Nardelli.
¡Uy! ¡Qué golpazo terrible! El de Stefano Cunzi. Tremendo impacto con Fun. Impresionante, atención. De frente le dio en dos oportunidades. Ya van a ir rápidamente a socorrer al piloto que está dentro. Acá venía Posebón peleando con la unidad 36 de Adrián Sima. ¡Qué bombazo! Y salió, menos mal, por afuera. El Quero Paduan, auto número 10. Sensacional, extraordinario espectáculo que estamos viendo. Y lo cruzó.
¡Qué la!
Y lo cruzaron al Quero.
Por ahí. Acá veíamos
Balestrini con Ivaldi.
Con Ivaldi. Ivaldi acá podía seguir adelante.
Ahí pasaba Toffoli sin inconvenientes. Quizás Nico ha tenido inconveniente en otra de las partes del escenario. Desde otro ángulo. Aquí la lucha por la primera colocación. Paduan por afuera. Claro, eran tres.
Eran tres autos, sí.
Y ahí Macarro, cuando el Quero Paduan sale hacia el interno. Sí, ahí está el 65, sí, de Di Giorgio, de Michael Di Giorgio.
Time champion, Ryan Smith in the other bonneted truck. Leads away, an entangle there, that's Michael Oliver and Craig Reed. Well, Craig Reed managed to hit both of them, bent up the inside, that was never on, and walloped. Straight into the side of Brad Smith. Not enough room for two trucks side by side through there. Simon Reed is leaned onto the curbs again, this time by David Jenkins. And Michael Oliver's off. Off he goes, and he's going to go into the tyre wall. Wallop straight in goes to number 12. Once you get onto the grass, it's a struggle to get it back. But Michael Oliver's been into the pits. Oh, Ryan Smith's hit the back of John Newell. What's happened there? Straight into the back of the 18, who spins around. Well, Ryan Smith, see what happened. He went up the inside of John Newell. He locked up. He realised he wasn't going to make it. Hit the back of the 18 and spun it around. That was just a miss. John Newell tries as well. Oh, 3 into 1 won't go there. Walloped. Off goes Tom O'Rourke. That was a 3-wide moment with John Newell and Stuart Oliver there. That bit of bodywork's come on. This is in Division 2. And the leader running wide. A mistake from John Bowler. Oh dear. Runs wide onto the gravel. And John Powell says thank you very much and takes the lead in Division 2. Disaster of the incident at Surtees. There you can see 3 into 1 didn't go. And it was Tom O'Rourke who was caught on the outside and sent spinning into the infield. Managed to get the truck stopped, loses the side panel off the truck. And he got the MV commercial.
A simply stunning Easter Saturday at Bathurst. And there's big contact in the background. Sean Richardson caught in. Lots of damage to the front of another car. The field still funnels down towards turn 1, but there's a heap of damage in the midfield.
It was Brock Bowley who got speared as well. Another car's lost the bonnet or hood, if you will, of the Road Rage Industries entry. This is the view from Ben Rice. So look in the middle here, you'll see a car climb up. It's already happened by this point, and was that trying to move? That was Nash Morris trying to move through, but nowhere to go. It was Owen Kelly that sent the dust cloud up in the Jiu-Jitsu entry. It's put him back into 8th position now.
That explains the cloud of dust. Position as the rest of the field streamed through. It's not, strictly speaking, a split grid. So the TCRs, oh, and there's a spinner right at the end of the source. That's one of the Audis. Is that the
Patrinicola, che sono già in 27esima posizione e qui hanno combinato un po' di caos. Pegoraro insieme a Mazzola. Sì. Ecco, Mazzola è arrivato un po' lungo.
Once again going purple, and this is a little bit of rallycross going on for the number 8, Marszałkowski. There is Jonathan Aberdeen, so a number of the drivers really working hard and struggling to keep it on the grey stuff. So several of the cars going off onto the gravel. That's riding on board with Jonathan Aberdeen. We'll have a look at a replay first. You can see, like so many, just going wide on the corner, trying to keep it at jab. That's a heavy impact for the Mercedes AMG. So Frankie Bird into the fence. Sturm's got 2 wheels onto the grass. Look at Joel Sturm. Can he slow it down? No, he can't. He's onto the gravel and he's made a connection with another car. He just about keeps it going. So it's Frank Pereira leading the way. Joel Sturm almost stole the headlines. And briefly, Sturm had the lead, and if only he could have made it stick, he did very well not to take out Yusufa Vega. It looked like there might have been this slight contact. This was the view from Jonathan Aberdeen, and he could see it all unfolding. And I have to say, 10 out of 10 for entertainment from Sturm. He's doing a bit of rallycross there. Did he make contact with a Vega?
I'll validate it on that front. There's Aitken's moment, and interesting though, those 2 cars kind of followed each other off, didn't they? I don't think there was a room, and here was Engelhardt getting a view of that. It was very strange that there didn't seem to be any contact or anything. Just Aitken ran out of grip, and he did well to avoid any further issue.
I wonder if he ran out of brakes as well, because he just didn't slow down for the corner in the way that he probably expected to. Looking back there, sharing driving duties with Raffaele Marciello. There is a replay, and that answers our questions. So Marszałkowski, did he make contact with the number 44 car? You just see the back end spinning around, and that is why he dropped to the pack. In fact, the car behind the I wonder if there was a bit of contact.
Ricardo Fella, he has a look to the outside at turn 1. Don't think I've ever seen that work. Oh, and Rougier just seemed to catch a bump there on the circuit. Fella has to
at the end of the pit straight in towards the hotel turn. That is the scene of many an incident, and that is the man. Is that? And I'm trying to work out which car. It's one of the Mercedes getting
That's
it all
Overhaus from 5th place.
Oh dear, Overhaus.
That was very strange. That looked more.
Let's have a look and see what happened. He was on the inside of the BMW. He got 2 wheels out onto the dirt, and something broke, didn't it? Something broke.
Yeah, toe link or something in the suspension. You just saw the left rear tyre just start pointing the wrong way. I didn't see if there was contact before we joined the replay there, but yes, that is a failure in the left rear of that car. But the Mercedes, and there's a moment for the 32 car. Does it hit the barriers? It does quite a lot. Just a bit too much curb, and then a bit of a lean on from one of the Astons. That's less than helpful.
So the elbow's out from the Aston, but Leo Pichler, who was in the KTM Crossbow last year, along with Leon Vassiter.
Oh dear, it's very close. Oh, he was pushed. Oh dear, that was Berkman ending up with a bit of a moment. Now, Berkman, interestingly, was 8th across the line again. So I wonder if Bastandajev managed to get back through at turn 1 and then got a nice punty by on the turn 2.
Punty by indeed. Yeah. It did look like Bastandajev did leave the door open on the inside.
European Series, and watching there in the background is someone having a bit of a wild run there.
At T5 with car 69. Drive-through penalty, car 95 for the incident at T5 with car 69.
So the 95 car being driven by Jacopo Faccioni, but it was having some tyre issues. So the moment for the number 3 car was at senior corner.
Oh, that's a terrible place there. Big wiggle.
There was a huge wiggle, and then you thought he's not going to get that back. Sector times there. The CTF Performance car being overtaken.
Oh no, it was the CTF Performance car, the 96 car.
So Laurent Piquet. Has Nara lost positions? George King was only 1.8 seconds behind, and George King went through.
So at least 2 cars have gone through because George King was under pressure. There's 1, 2 cars there.
As well, that was LR Motorsport and M Racing, so Nick Laneri and Nathan Biel, and the 17's off again. This is at Virage du Lac, so would have been 9th position in the JS2R.
He lost that very early, didn't he?
All over the entered cars, all on his own as well. That was at turn 6.
It might be enough. Do we see Gilbert come through and take that position?
Again, so here is what happened there. So that is Daniel Casanilla all on his own, locking up, spinning the rears, and round he goes into the gravel. And how did Raw Linland end up there as well? I want to know. I think he just decided to take to the runoff. And that's not it was new for last year in 2021. A Meet the Legends situation as Dan Van Koyk has a lovely little spin coming out of either the Villeneuve chicane or that might have been Tamburello. And just being coming through the main straight. And has he just caught a bump there on the main straight? And that has just completely taken off the front splitter. You can see it actually starts to drop down ever so slightly as he comes. And that's precisely what Jaap van Lagen did in practice as well, just locking up the brakes, not getting it turned in, but unfortunately for... And this was Hampus Eriksson, the Swedish driver, the brother of the F1 driver, Marcus Eriksson, actually. Jaap van Lagen as well, really giving it some through Variante Alta. And the yellow and grey Pierre Martinet by Almirez car as Daniel Casanilla loses it on the approach to Aqua Minerale. Out the
defensive there from Charlie Wirtz, and oh, someone's lost a front wing further back in the pack there. Who is that? That's the number 3 car, Alfino Spina, and let's hope he realises that he's got less front downforce. Oh, the 71 forced off circuit there. That's a puncture. For 4th place, no, yes, I think he might. Oh, and collisions further back. One of the cars in a spin, that's the number 24.
Turn 12, actually. Here's a replay. Whoa, the car just gets away from him, actually. That's nearly over as well. Well, I hope he's got a bucket and spade in the back of that car. Oh, man, that's a big old hit, that. For Lorenzo Nicoli, it would have scared the life out of Luciano Gioia as well. He comes back on. Nicoli runs wide and just plows into him, to be fair.
Yeah, Hudson Thompson's in that group as well, so keep an eye on him. He can run at the podium pace. Oh, we've got a faller. Think that
could be Cameron Rendy. That incident, you can see, just had the bike cranked over. Looks like his foot peg may have even hit the ground. And
he lost the front earlier.
Turn 2. Oh, we go. That's Nelson. I don't know how he's managed to save that, Steve. Can you keep the bike upright? He's done a sensational job to keep that bike upright.
Oh, no, you know what he needs to do.
Trying to make his way forward. Looked like he may have just got up the inside of Simpson. We've got one down. Is that Nelson?
Yeah, it is. Hayden.
Yep, Hayden Nelson.
First of the Yamahas. Here he is. Let's just watch him coming out of left field. Is he going to make the same mistake this time? You cannot go on that. Oh, somebody's gone well off in the background. Never mind track limits. That's the gravel trap and the...
Kind of feel yourself coming around there, just trying to get some drive. Oh, it looks like maybe collided with another.
The racing. Here is one of the incidents. Oh,
just on the cutback there. That's
thank goodness the bike just stayed down and stopped.
Lapping at the moment as we see there, number 92, Damon Rees, the Kiwi rider. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on here already. We're only at round 1.
Let's have a little look at this.
He just got caught up with Jodie Fieldhouse and tagged the back of her bike. Can you believe it? Oh, that's such a shame.
That is a shame. He was doing so well, Jack Scott there. What a race he'd had.
And Alex Olsen settles into second. That looks like Lewis. Oh, big accident already. 2 or 3 of them down on the approach into Beckett's. What a disaster. Oh, there's 3 or 4 bikes here. We might see an early red flag. Oh, what's happened here?
I think Billy might have been taken out there as well. So I think it was the green and white bike, green and yellow bike behind Billy there. So I think in the middle of your picture, if you watch the green and yellow motorcycle here, I think he's going to go into the back of Billy. And he does. Watch him. And he clips the back of him there. That takes them down. And then behind him, completely separate, the white motorcycle there goes down on his own. And then you can see in the left-hand side of your picture, there's a couple more. But watch the rider who stands up now next to Billy in the pink helmet. Watch him stand up and then watch to the left, because a motorcycle comes here, blue one, in a second. Here it comes, and watch him. It hits him from behind now. Watch this, boof, and completely upends him. He actually gets back on his feet, so it's hard to, obviously his first race of the year, all new colourway, so it was 2 different incidents there, and then he's just got right, so that's Cade Verwey, and he just gets wrong-sided there, and actually does more damage, getting gripped up and flicked down there.
Yeah. Looks like he tagged the back of whoever that was just up ahead of him.
As he grabs in, he kind of...
Nasty landing.
Yeah, it was a nasty landing.
Target for his first one at the moment, Stevenson. Oh, Garnett goes down! And that's the championship leader out of the race. He was having to push time on another one. Carter Brown's gone, 2 more have gone. There's Garnett first of all, Taylor. So he's lost it by himself. Now let's see what happened between Reece Stevenson. We're going to follow Garnett, obviously, as the bike and rider skate off, slide off onto the runoff area at Brooklands. He's looking up the road at the lead he briefly had just a second or so before, and that is certain almost race victory gone for Johnny Garnett at the same corner which claimed Evan Belford in Friday practice.
You can see as he went.
Let's see if we can see what happened to the other two now. Reece Stevenson, number 23, 4th rider, the black bike. Look what's going to happen. He's lost it too, and there was absolutely nothing Carter Brown could do. That was very serious with himself, and there then is the detritus as Stevenson and Carter Brown go down as well between Brooklands and Luffield, and thank goodness as Carter Brown makes his feelings known. That second group weren't too close to them, and the bikes were more or less... is ahead, he's in the lead.
He certainly is. Yeah, a lot of reshuffling there in the... and the 2 followers there looked like was that one of the Fayhill riders?
Okay, let's have another look at this.
Yeah, I mean, considering she was leading into Maggots in that opening lap, I don't know what's happened that she managed to get so far back, because it really is just about accelerating along that straight unless she got mixed up. But yeah, she was... Yeah. Oh, it looked like maybe...
Is it Finn Smart-Weeden there?
Yeah, I don't think it was her fault there.
Contact, I think, with Finn Smart-Weeden. Yes, it is on the yellow bike, number 74. And I think Finn, incidentally, was caught up in the incident with Denise Van Zotto yesterday as well. So poor old Finn, wrong place, wrong time again. And Charlotte Marcuzzo here. What a shame for FHO Racing from pole position to the gravel here at Brooklands on the first lap. I can't believe it. These incidents. This is first of all by himself. That's Oliver Morgan-Edwards on the OME Racing Ninja 400 into Luffield. And then Abs Thomas at Copse. What happened to Abs Thomas? She was up there in the top 4 and she was 9th yesterday. It just shows you, even in the junior supersport class, the speed they're carrying through Copse, doesn't it? He's gone up from 12th to 1st and it was all done. Oh my goodness, and that's a big one. Is that Charlie Atkins? Watch on the left-hand side of your screen. Rear, look how it grips over the top. We didn't see much of this yesterday. Here's Kieran Kent closest to us. Had to go off track to avoid it. Thank goodness that wasn't any worse, Neil.
Yeah, unfortunate. It's tricky in there. They're kind of breaking in on the edge of the
16 to 17 kind of area. So not a lot of experience.
No! Was that Asher Durham going through? He lost the front and he's taken out. Have another look, James. Watch the front.
He's lost the front. That wasn't a missing a braking point. He had it pretty much under control. Bit too
earlier. That is a nasty one. That's the one we just talked about. They definitely did get into each other down at Maggots and Beckett's.
That's Connell just sliding to a halt.
Kevin Keys, in the meantime, has jumped the start, so he'll be given the standard ride-through penalty here.
Look at Jack Kennedy around the outside.
Someone's one has gone down as well.
The Irishman, let's have a little look. He's gone wide. He's really coming back on line. Doesn't see him, and they touch, and down they both go.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you're unsighted.
One side here.
He's going for it. He's definitely going for it. He's got the block pass. Can he get the bike stopped? Kennedy's got set up. He's gone straight on. It's over for him.
No, Zach Peary.
Unbelievable. No, it's not. It's one.
Look at the right-hand side of your picture. They're going to emerge any second. And look at that. He's just lost it. Kennedy knew he couldn't make that turn. He knew he couldn't make that turn, his experience, so he stood the bike up trying to get it done. And Peary, I mean, you've got to admire the racer in him, though. You know, listen, he's crashed, he's gone down, it's disappointing. Obviously, Jack's taken a 50 points, but they are braking late. It's so tight. and Jack's thinking, I can't make this. And Perry's just come in, and look, he starts to lose it. He's thinking, bum, bum, bum. You just see that front just bobbling a fraction there, and then it goes down. And Jack can't believe his luck. But
when the red flag came out and almost headbutting the screen, look, the rear wheel.
Well, he's got his foot on the rear brake there.
Red flag
jammed
Neil
on the rear
again.
brake, just trying to slow things down.
Oh dear, this is why the red flag is out yet again here at Silverstone, and this time the race is definitely over. I think this is Joe Duggan we're looking at, isn't it? Number 64 from Doncaster.
Definitely fluid down there as well. You can see it spilling out his bike. That could be just because he's upside down. But ooh, nasty little kick there. Nearly saved it. Unfortunately, he didn't. Bike beat him up along the way.
That's the Vervey, and that'll be a bit further back in this group. Oh, he got tagged, didn't he?
He did.
Oh, blimey. That could have been far worse, but luckily back up on.
A little look at this. He's going to come on your left-hand side of your picture now.
Looks like he made contact with Braden Elliott, doesn't it?
Yeah, well,
yeah, Elliott's gone wide. And then when he's come back on track, he's tagged the front end, unfortunately, of Charlie Nesbitt.
God, that was unlucky.
Really unlucky for number 86.
Rolo, have a little look, watch his back tyre here. Remember, this is 140, 150 miles an hour, steps out now. Look at the smoke coming off it. Oh, my word, that was huge.
Through these fast couple of corners now at 13 and 14, and then he's going... Big high side there for him, and where does the bike come through? He's very, very lucky. You can see how close that bike comes to.
Wow, ouchie. Nagashima look, and he's bailed off because he knew where that was going.
There you go. There you go, and that's Marc Marquez launched over the high side just as Lewis was picture. And unfortunately for Marc Marquez, well, was that a cold tyre issue? Because he gets fired over the hand.
Garcia, he's not going to hang on to that, surely. No, he doesn't. Garcia tried his best to hang on to that. That's going round turn 14. Just saw the rear come round on him, and despite his best attempts, there was absolutely no way of saving that.